cancer is becoming more prominent in people born in the 80s and the 90s, which is statistically much younger than the typical 55 and older demographic. The science has yet to pinpoint an exact reason for the uptick, but it seems to revolve around a host of lifestyle choices. I sat down a few days ago with an oncology doctor at Baton Rouge General Hospital to talk about this new trend. So a recent report by the American Cancer Society showed that people born in the 80s and 90s are more at risk for colon cancer than they've ever been before. Is that consistent with what you are seeing?
Yes, we are seeing patients diagnosed with colorectal cancer at younger and younger ages. Initially screening began at 50, but we're seeing more patients younger than this being diagnosed. Therefore, the most recent recommendations are actually moving the screening colonoscopy initiation date up to 45. Some of the recent data is actually showing 1 in 5 colon and rectal cancer cases are actually between the age of 20 and 54.
20 and 54. Mm-hmm. The 20 is a bit scary.
Yeah, it is.
So is there a specific reason why this is happening? Why colon cancer specifically?
Well, we don't know exactly why we're seeing this phenomenon, but we do know that environmental factors do increase your risk of colon and rectal cancer, and some of those things are diet, health, obesity, and a lot of these are preventative, but a lot of these are national pandemics, basically. Obesity and rising rate of obesity in the country, and then the change in our diet over the years, moving to more processed foods, less healthy made at home foods, more fast foods, and so while we don't know exactly, we do assume that this may have a role in this.
Yes, fast food and processed things that people born in the 90s tend to love.
Right.
So are there any other, is there any evidence showing that there are other cancers that, are having younger and younger patients?
Not at this time that we know of. This is one that we have definitely recognized. And again, I think that's one of the reasons is the U.S. Preventative Task Force are the ones that came out with the recommendation to move the screening age up 5 years from 50 to 45 because of what we're seeing. We haven't really changed screening for any other disease processes at this time, but we're monitoring.
Is it possible that in the future, the screening age will go even lower than that, maybe 35, 25, anything like that? It's
possible. I think this is still new. I think this is the age right now that we feel most comfortable with. But with colon cancer, hereditary issues are involved, and so family history is very important. So if you do have a first-degree relative with colon or rectal cancer, you want to start screening 10 years ahead of their diagnosis. So say your mom had colon cancer at the age of 45, you would want to start screening at 35 with your first colonoscopy.
Right, and of course if she was diagnosed with cancer at 35, you want to screen at 25.
Yes. Correct.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about what may be the cause. It seems that science hasn't pinpointed an exact reason for this, but let's talk preventative measures. What can you do to make sure that you're safe and keeping your family safe?
I think some of the best things we can do are obviously get screened as recommended, but also the things that we can definitely have some control over is diet, right? Eating healthy, high fiber, lots of fruits and veggies, all the good healthy stuff. Try to avoid all the stuff we like, right? The processed food, the red meats, fast food. And then, there is a role with obesity, obviously. So weight loss, eating healthy, staying active even could potentially help decrease your risk.
All right, so the bottom line is watch what you're eating, make sure that you're getting screened, and also just be a healthy individual.
Correct.
So is there anything else that people should know, especially because when you hear things like, people born in the 90s, that's me, or people that are born in the 80s, that's typically very young. Is there anything else this age group should know about this new study?
No, I think it's just important to talk to your physician, right? See a physician. A lot of young people don't even have a doctor, right? Once they move on from their pediatrician, they stop seeing the doctor. So see your physician, discuss your risk, discuss your lifestyle, and see if it's right for you to get screened. There are signs that can show up, usually for later stage colon cancers, and that may be some blood in your bowel movements, some change in your bowel habits, abdominal bloating or abdominal pain. So these are all things to discuss with a physician.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and talking about this.